Odyssey project.
Are you introducing me or am I going?
We are having the headliner today by Linda, educational headliner. She's going to introduce the Odyssey project. And we talked about Odyssey last time, and there's a lot of requests that we need to know about the Odyssey project. And thank you for all your hard work, Linda. And please begin.
Thank you. I have to thank one of our members, Francine Julin, for introducing me to the Odyssey Project. She was my humor buddy, and she mentioned it in one of our sessions, and that's why I jumped aboard. So I'd like to share with you what the Odyssey Project is, and maybe you will want to jump aboard too. It was the brainchild of Adriana Vasilacci of Finland. She was the club growth director in District 108 in Finland in 2019 to 2020. When she completed her term, she gathered 6 Toastmasters up, and they were a team that developed an algorithm for the Odyssey Project. So let's jump aboard and I will share why you might want to hop on with me. Mentorship. Mentorship is so important, and Toastmasters has that. But mentoring is really working with a protege and giving them the skills so that they succeed and maybe even surpass the mentor. A mentor gives tools, nourishment to the protege, and the protege absorbs the nourishment and grows in maybe new and different directions. Maybe you'd like to be a mentor beyond the humor buddy or in addition to, and maybe you would like to also be a protege, which is what I do on the Odyssey Project. I do both. I learn a lot that way. There are over 30 skills that you can learn or mentor others on this project: communication, leadership, Toastmaster officer skills, and software platforms. There's a lot of languages. Parlez-vous français? Sprechen Sie Deutsch? You can speak in another language once you're on board, but to fill out the registration form, you must know enough English to complete that. There are 7 levels of Toastmasters on this journey. Whether you can, it's just like toast and coffee. Some people like it light, and some people have been entrenched in it for a very long time. Some people add cinnamon to their toast, and some to cinnamon to their coffee. So take it like you like, make it like you like it. If you're a landlubber or a professional sea captain, there's a level that you can encourage and learn from. Networking. Networking is a random match by the computer. And what's exciting about that? Well, it's sort of like looking for an Uber. You need to get from point A to point B. And so there is an app and it matches you up with someone and you're waiting for that person to come. They do come and they take you safely to the next place, but you never know who it's going to be. It could be a very exciting adventure like Dorothy and her adventures and with Oz. Remember that tornado that came and swept her up? That was quite an adventure. So how do you get on board? There's 5 steps. First, you need to register. Then you'll get an email from the Odyssey Project. You'll meet your pair, whether it's online, email, or a Zoom meeting. You share feedback, and then you repeat the process if you like. When can you start? It's Mondays, and it happens to be tomorrow will be the beginning of a new 4-week period, but it's every 4 weeks. Here's a copy of the first page of the registration form. It's going to ask for your birthday. Now, don't lie. You know, it's scientific proof that those who celebrate more birthdays live longer. And so put your real birthday in there. They'll also want other information like the country that you're in. So if you are born in India, but you're living in Paris, you need to put Paris in because it helps with figuring out the timing of when you can meet. And way down at the bottom, and ask whether you want to be a mentor, a protege, or do networking. So this is the second page of the registration form. That's the one with all the skills, and you can check off the ones that you are really confident in and that you would like to help others with. And then you can, if you want to be a protege, you can check off the ones that you would like more help with. I still put humor there because I can always add more humor to my talks. And so with this, I'd like to say, how many of you have seen the movie Hitch? A few of you. It's a movie with Will Smith and Kevin James. Will Smith is a New York counselor and a mentor who is helping Albert, played by Kevin James, to find a wife. Now, there's some really funny scenes in that movie, like the dance scene, the boat scene, and the wedding at the end. Very funny. And what happens, what everyone learns at the end is that the protege, Albert, teaches the mentor, Mr. Hutchins, a lot more than Mr. Hutchins teaches Albert. I highly recommend that whatever skill you're going to teach, you're also going to learn in the process. And networking. Now, don't put argle bargle in the fields when you're networking. Put in something interesting though, because it's like the icebreaker. It will help conversation to get started, and where it goes from there is an odyssey for sure. Now, this is exciting. This is a QR code. And for those of you who are as old as I am, it's like magic and technology had a baby. And abracadabra, you put your phone up and take a picture of that QR code and then click on the link that pops up and you go right to the Odyssey project. I think most people my age think this is really cool. You 20, 30 somethings, it's old hat. There are a few frequently asked questions, and on the website, you'll find a lot more frequently asked questions. But I thought I'd go over these and then I would take questions from you. So who can participate in the Odyssey project? You must be a Toastmaster or a past Toastmaster. And what happens if you register after the round starts? Say perhaps you register tomorrow and it's too late. The matches were sent out in the morning and you registered in the afternoon. The computer will keep your registration form, and in 4 weeks' time, you'll get that email from the Odyssey project. And my best recommendation is don't delay. Open that email as soon as you get it. Make the connection, because 4 weeks just flies by. During the Odyssey project, can you change your home club? Absolutely. Any field in the registration form can be changed at any time. And how long does the journey last? As long as you want. If you only have time for a month or two, you can jump off. If you want to do it for 6 months to a year, you can stay on. So it's really up to you and your match whether things are working well. And does the system replace the mentoring at the home club level? Absolutely not. It just enhances it. I just found, I shared some of my stories last time we had a meeting, and I find that helping someone in a humorous speech contest in Finland is really exciting, being from America. And there's some universal language, and there's some that's more cultural specific. So in addition to learning another culture, or habits, then I'm also letting the person from another country learn that if they get to the international level in an international speech contest, they want to have more universal language in their speech. So here's the skills again. That's all those check boxes. It's a very full screen, but there's so much you can learn. And what is great is that you'll probably learn something you didn't expect to learn, and that's fun. And what if you don't know English? Well, you have to call that Uber driver back because they learn enough English to get along and do their job, and they might be able to help you fill out that form. So what's the difference between mentoring and networking in the Odyssey project? Mentoring is done with a matching of levels, or a higher level mentoring a lower level Toastmaster, but the networking is totally random. So it's kind of like a blind date. It's been a long time since I've been on one of those, but I did it, and I happened to get joined with Adriana Vasalace, the person who started this. It's been very interesting. How is the pairing done? An algorithm. I'm not a techie person, but somehow they take all that information from the registration form, and the computer manipulates it and makes the matches. And why should I fill in the feedback form for each round? That's very important, and I suggest you do it right away. In my mind, I wasn't thinking 4-week cycle. I was thinking monthly cycle. So I said, oh, I've got another 4 or 5 days. Don't do that. What you want to do when you get that feedback email is fill it out. It's very short. It will only take a minute or two. And you just put whether it worked or not. You don't have to go into great detail. You just have to do it before time runs out, or you'll be called inactive. So if you are inactive, how do you become active? You just have to go to your registration form and uncheck something and check it again, or check something different, and then you'll become active again. If you have more questions, I have a few minutes and I can answer them now, or you can send an email to odyssey@odyssey.today. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can see you all. Maybe. Okay. Does anyone have a question? I see William with your hand up. Do you have a question for me?
Yes. So is this program affiliated with Toastmasters officially, or is it just something that's sort of on the side at the moment?
That is a great question. I will ask Adriana tomorrow morning when I meet with her. But my impression was that, yes, it's official. She has Toastmasters from Turkey and Greece and many different countries that have jumped aboard. And she was a district director in 108. So I don't know whether this is a District 108 project at this point and not international, but I will get back to you at a later meeting with the answer to that, because I will ask her tomorrow. Thank you for that great question. Are there other questions? Melanie from Australia.
How many rounds did it take you to find a mentor for the skills that you were looking for?
I would say 2. I had my first match, which I did learn things that I didn't expect to learn, things that I wasn't looking for. But it was the second round where I really found a great mentor-mentee relationship. I'm a mentor for someone in Finland, and I'm a mentee for someone in Florida. And both of those have worked so well that I'm going to continue until I really don't have time for it. Oscar.
Did you ever get into an argle-bargle?
No, there isn't enough time. You know, the Zoom meeting goes so quickly, And Toastmasters are so busy. They're the most, I used to say this about quilters, that they give so much of their time and talent to others. And I feel the same way about Toastmasters. If you find a busy Toastmaster, they're involved in a lot of different things. And so no time for argle-bargle. Okay, well, thank you all for those questions. And I hope that whether you're a landlubber or a professional sea captain, you'll want to check out the Odyssey project.
Thank you so much, Linda, for your great presentation. Now, Odyssey project is no argle-bargle at all. I need to go back to my hamburger and see how it's doing on the grill. Bear with me, okay? By the time we finish, I'll probably have a cooked hamburger Vietnamese style.